Hello, everybody. It's Big Al with some content for Lord of the Rings Rise to War. So, today I'm going to be talking about formations and what the formula to a good formation is. So, let's hop in and start looking at commanders and formations. I know a lot of newcomers think, oh, I just need to deal as much damage as possible. So, they end up putting 4 damage dealers into a formation. The problem with this kind of a formation is damage dealers are squishy. They have no defense. And you're thinking maybe, oh, build some commander defense or whatever. It doesn't work like that. Even with, like on me, I have, sorry, wrong one. I have a unit defense chest plate on one of my damage dealers. But he is still squishy if he is taking most of the hits. So that will never do well because think about it this way. Out the gate, you're trying to do as much damage as possible. Well, if all of your commanders die in round 3 or round 4, guess what? They lose 6 rounds of opportunity to do damage. So 4 damage dealers inside of a formation is very bad. Now let's go to another one. And this one is going to be a little bit different. This one, I believe, can only be run with Kraken level or very strong whale level. And that is with one support and or one tank or support and 3 damage dealers. This can be done with Gil, for instance, because he's going to be inflicting evade on the 3 damage dealers with elves units, and he will take the majority of the hits. The thing with that is Gil needs at least 600 command to be able to make this work to where he can sustain taking all these hits. And that's why I say he needs Kraken level or a really big whale. Because I am definitely not a whale, but with my let me go into my Frodo, for instance. Okay. The absolute best gear I have, and I'm probably a dolphin size with command. Let me just double checking that I have the most command, nothing on there. The most command that I have in my account. Okay. And right here, I'm only looking at 300 on Frodo. Yes, Gil starts with more command than Frodo, but it's not by any means that much more command. Okay, he starts with 172, so it's about 100 more. Well, that would still only put my gear with command up to 400, say 440. And then if I rework my gear, I might be able to get my command level up to above 500, but I'm not going to get it to 6. So, and the other way would be, say, like a Gandalf the White. Some people will try to run that, and that's the same thing. They're trying to run Gandalf the White as the tank with the 3 damage dealers. Again, they're going to have more than 600 command because that's going to cause damage mitigation. So, now let's go to two different styles that I think work best for free-to-play newcomers, and that is a tank, a support, and 2 damage dealers. And the reason for this is I'm going to show you how I set them up. Unless you have a taunting unit, this is how I set them up, with my tank and my support both having melee units and then my damage dealers having ranged units. This will filter most of the enemy damage towards my tank and my support. So, longevity wise, I am going to draw on almost 95% of formations in this game using this technique in my gear. I may lose the draw, but I'm not going to die immediately. I am going to take a good chunk out of a lot of people as well because I have two good damage dealers. So even me, I can't run. I could run with a taunt troop on Frodo and then have Gandalf with ranged units as well, or any kind of unit. It doesn't matter once I'm using a taunt unit. That I will do because Frodo is such a great tank. I do need to get some better gear for him, but I chose to put the better gear on my damage dealers so that I was doing damage, not just causing draws. So another formation style for newcomers would be doing like a double tank. So let me go and do something like this. Because Boromir can be used as a tank or a support. The more I've used him, the more I like and makes him viable for free-to-play players. So this would be kind of a double tank formation. And what makes a commander is the tank is the skills that he uses. Now on this Falcon, this isn't the correct troop combo for Falcon. He needs the other three commanders to have dwarves. But I'm showing just in principle. The double tank formation does kind of help, but there's no real damage mitigation towards your damage dealers. Your two tanks are mostly just trying to take all the hits that they can. Now, with my other formation, with the tank and the support, I am getting my damage mitigation because I'm using Gandalf the White, or Gandalf the Gray, and he has his White Council skill, which is going to hit one, if not both, of my damage dealers. And most people, once they get higher, will use Gandalf the White, and he has the same skill, White Council. And a lot of people will run White Rider to help the damage dealers deal damage. So those are a couple things to think about when you're building the formation. So I always recommend having a tank, a support, and two damage dealers. And there's quite a few whales as well that run this style of formation. Reason being is it's the hardest to kill. So longevity, you're losing less troops, even though you're causing a draw and not killing the other formation, you're slowing the enemy down, or they have to retreat because they have to reinforce before they move any farther. Whatever the case may be, you're going to lose less troops than you would with one support and three damage dealers. So the longevity of staying in the battle is going to be there. I'm all about survival, especially when it comes to me being a free-to-play player. So those are the different styles. I hope that explained what level account you need to run certain things. What my recommendation is, obviously, is the tank, the support, and two damage dealers. So I hope that helped you guys. And as always, make the most out of what you got.